Okay, welcome back to the 31st Irish Open, live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. Into the final squad of qualifying, squad 14. And on your featured pair, Sandra Anson, Craig Barrett, Hanne Burren Spets and Arnie Paul Finnison. Welcome back to Jerry Barrett, Bill Bullock, Paul Pisen, Greg Marcus and Gareth Greaves, amongst others. So just 6 more games and we'll find out the qualifying players, and then we'll ring to the Desperado at 7:30 this evening. It's going to be a long day because we've got the 2-part final step 1 later on this evening. So our qualifiers after squad 13 then. We have a new leader, Thomas Kaiko from Finland, with a 246 average, 1476, bowled in the previous squad. Followed by Alan McBride, the long-time leader, with 1462, and now in 3rd place with 1441 is Jamie Elliott. Stephen Gill in 4th with 1434, and just ahead of Ghislaine van der Tol, 1431. She's dropped out of the top 4 placings, so she's back on the lanes looking for a top 4 place to get the buys. Rob Thirlby has jumped into the top 10 in 6th place with 1426. Stephen Gill still in 4th, yeah. Ghislaine, then Rob Thirlby, then Bernice Lim from Singapore. Timu Pukisto in 8th, that's your top 8 at the minute. Welcome back to Gareth Greaves, Chris Thorogood and Alison Taylor. Kim Richardson, good luck Glenn Richardson, you can do this, she says. Grant Duggan back on the lanes for Northern Ireland. Paul Moore's back on the lanes. Defending champion from Netherlands, Nicole Sanders is back on. Craig Barrett also on. As we know, he's on this featured pair in front of us, wearing the red, white and blue. Good luck, Craig. We are watching from Holland, says Sue Clifford Smith. Welcome back to Amanda Larkin. So just coming up to halfway of this first game. On your featured pair, Sandra Hansen, Arnie Paul Finnison, Craig Barrett and Hanny Burren Spets. Nothing much to report. No strings of strikes as such at the minute. Welcome to Brian Michael, Coach Michael, out there in the UK. Thanks for watching, Brian. So getting exciting in this final squad as people chase down the final positions to get into the cuts. Slightly lower scoring than last year. Not so many 1500s and a lot tighter. Making for a better event, I think. Players still have that chance to make the big scores. They're not looking at the top 5 or top 4 as 1500. It's still doable. Anything around 1440 is going to give you a shot at the top 8. We'll get a rough idea of who's going to be the squad winner towards the end of this block. We'll have a trip down the lanes round about game 5 just to see who's going to be in the studio at the end. Welcome to Gary Redpath, Cass Edwards, Dave Gorin, Lorraine Mayland and Charlotte Louise. Just joining us, we're in the final squad of the tournament. Squad 14. And players looking to break into the different cuts at the top and bottom. Full squad. And those that don't make it will probably be in the Desperado at 7:30 this evening. Just a reminder to all the players that may be watching that have bowled the tournament to get your ticket for the after party. Lots of live music, a meal and a beer in with your ticket price. Well worth the money. That of course on Sunday night after the presentations. And thank you to our sponsors Storm, 900 Global and 3G, and all the masking unit sponsors, that's Starbucks, Eco Hygiene, Mau at Home, Rocks Jewellers, Stillorgan Orchard, Dublin Food Sales, Cooltech Refrigeration, TGI Fridays, Glen Ely Foods, Mau, Crumlin Print and the Talbot Hotel. Thank you for all your kind support yet again this year. Good crowd of people watching the bowling today. Just coming up to the 8th frame now in this first game. Players coming on the featured pair next will include Paul Moore and young French guy. Seen a lot of him, we've not had him on the stream yet. Craig Barrett on 82 in the 6th with a double working in frames 7 and 8. Hanny Burren Spets on 121 in the 7th with a strike in the 8th. Sandra Hansen on 111 in the 8th now with after an open frame. And Anipor Finnison on 101 in the 6th with a strike in the 7th, just coming up to the 8th frame now. Welcome back to Mark Longstall and Pat Byrne and to Andy McLeod. Thanks to everyone that's dropped in and out this week and watched the show. Hope you've enjoyed it. The Irish Open lives on into 2020 and beyond, but this will be the final year for Simon and myself doing the streaming. There'll be a new streaming team next year with some new tricks and all the rest of it. But it's been good. Done 5 years of this now, and thanks for all the kind support and comments we've had. Just going to go say hello to somebody. Hang on a minute. Bill Chrisman and Barbara's in. Wow, I just got to meet Bill Chrisman and Barbara. That was cool. I gave the both of gifts, the sponsors of the UK Temping Hall of Fame as well, so we identified Bill likes his flat caps, so we bought him a flat cap from Yorkshire, because that's where flat caps are made. You get given one when you're born in Yorkshire. And we got Barbara some Yorkshire tea, some Scottish shortbread, and some chocolates from Thornton's. And I got a photo taken with Bill, so that'll probably be on Barbara's post page soon. That's a highlight of my career. He did, he put it straight on and it fit. He liked it. There's I think there's a photograph going on Barbara's page of myself and Bill with, he's got his hat on. So just coming up to the end of this first game, Craig Barrett's going to bowl a 191 if he hits this spare. Sandra Hansen with a 151 if she hits a strike. No big games on this 9 and 10 featured pair. Not at the moment anyway. 191 for Craig Barrett, 149 for Sandra Hansen. Welcome to Eric Van Sabben and Gary Oakley. Thanks for tuning in. Lars Nygaard has bowled a 230 on 7 and 8. 246 for Paul Moore, first game. And he's going to be on the featured pair now. Are there any Belgians playing today? I don't think so, Mike. Right, so we're back in 5 minutes with commentary again. Just waiting for the players to move around. We've got Paul Moore on there, though, so for you Paul Moore fans, back in 5. Right, welcome back to the 31st Irish Open. We're into game 2 now, and on your featured pair we've got Paul Moore, Hollis Duran, Aidan Byrne and Alexis Dival. Alexis from France, Paul from England, and the other two from Ireland. Welcome back to Pete Rogers. Justin Shikluna. Hi Justin, how are you doing? And Tony O'Hare. Paul Moore then, 240 odd first game, 6-3 and then 3 in a row. Soon to be a daddy. Just been announced recently that he's gonna be a dad in July. So competition time, what would you call Paul Moore's kid? I came up with let's have. Good sized crowd watching the bowling again today. We're blessed with a lot of guests in the centre today. We've got Bernard Gibbons from the Cubica AMF Bowling World Cup, the tournament manager. Also Bill and Barbara Chrisman, the owners of Storm, have flown over especially for this event and to come and see the country as well, of course. So I would guess whoever wins the tournament this week is going to have the pleasure of being presented the trophy by the big man himself from Storm, I would guess. Yeah, French guy back in pocket for strike. Spare 3 in a row for Alexis, sorry. So Frenchman Alexis Stivell looking for 4 in a row. And it just comes up heavy, leaves 2. Paul Moore adds another one for 4 in a row. Aidan Byrne on a 280 pace at the minute. So final squad, squad 14 of qualifying. Then we're into the Desperado, 1 game shootout. I think 4 places up for grabs, 3 or 4 anyway. Keep your comment and chat coming in. Got any questions? If you want to know what any of the players are doing. We'll go down the lanes around about game 5 and see who it looks like it's going to be for the squad win and an interview in the virtual studio. Got a few people in so far. Anthony Simonson. Thomas Kaiko was in the last block. We had Stephen Gillen and Scott Wormsley. Paul makes it 5 in a row. So a reminder and a thank you for all the entries we got for the UK Tenpin Hall of Fame competition. You were asked to name the top 4 male and top 4 female of all time. And we will release the winner and the top 20 tomorrow. And then later in the week, the full database will be coming. We were going to put the database out tomorrow, but we've still got a few results just going in. We want it to be right when it gets released. So you will find out the top 20 tomorrow in the order that they are. And the competition winner. And the mystery prize will be revealed. Split there for the Frenchman. After a bright start. Welcome back to Billy Gill. Your boy's still in the top 4. He's sweating a little bit now though, because players are looking for let's have a look what they're looking for. Yeah, so to break into the top 4, the player's going to need to shoot over 14.34, which is Stephen Gill at the minute. And into the top 8. To make the top 8, going to need a 14.08 or more. And the cut round about the 50-odd mark. We're looking at about 12.86 or more to make it into the next round proper. So a rundown of the times for this evening's play. We have the Desperado at 7:30. And then we have the final step 1, Group 1 at 8:45, and at 11:15 we will have final step 1, Group 2, so 1 a.m. finish. So for the final step 1, Group 1 tonight, 8:45, and 11:15 for final step 1, Group 2. Players will all be bowling 4 games. So final step 1, 54 athletes will play 4 games starting from scratch, and players 1 to 28 will be qualified for the final step 2. Players 29 to 54 will be ranked 37 to 62 according to their position in the final step 1. Then tomorrow morning, final step 2 from 10 a.m. Final step 3 at 12:45. Final step 4 at 2 o'clock. At 2:45 will be final step 5 and the senior semi-final. And final step 6 and senior final at 3:30. Presentation at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Stephen Gill watching. Nobody's gone past you yet, mate. You've still got your position. Paul Moore's flying. Shot a 240 something first game, and he's started this one on the featured pair with 6-3 and 6 in a row. So Paul is chasing that top 4 place at the minute. Sweaty palm time. Seven in a row then for Paul Moore. Welcome back to Jamie Bottomley. 2014 champion of this event. Paul Moore, lane 9, 7 in a row. And the 7 pin. I think what I'll do is when this game 2 is finished, I'll go down and get some scores just to give the worrying players out there an indication as to who started strong. And then we'll go down again around about game 5. see how it's changed and get a rough idea of who we're going to have in the studio at the end. Martin Bishop, hi guys, back again. Has it been a good day? It has been for some players and maybe not for others, but they're all still chasing those spots. If it's been a good day or a bad day, we'll find out in the Desperado when we see how many people have entered it, chasing the final spots. But it's been a good day for Thomas Kaiko from Finland. He's the new leader with 1476, bowled this morning, or this afternoon rather, with a 299 in that. Thomas bowling with Brunswick balls, he's only been bowling with them for a few weeks and already putting in big scores. So if you're watching Brunswick, Thomas Kaiko, remember the name. Keep your eye on him. He would very much like some free equipment, as most players would these days. But he doesn't look like a bad bet. The kid can play. Greta for sides going quite well, 199 in his 6th, and then she's got Turkey on top of that. Welcome Dazzy Mac, Daz McLaughlin. Paul Moore looking to round out another good game. Oh, high, slightly high hit, leaded single pin, but it fell. 258 if he strikes out. Put him nearly 100 over 2. Three-time champion of this event, so if I were you, Mr. Stephen Gill, I would be sweating a little bit. A is a lefty and B is Paul Moore. And C is a 3-time champion. And 4 is aiming for top 4. If that's enough reasons for you. Dom, who's your favourite this weekend? I called it early, I want Rob Thirlby to win this week. Kind of always been a fan of Rob's bowling. It's one of them that, had he played in Europe a lot more, he probably would have had a lot more titles. He's a winner of the Brunswick Euro Challenge, and they don't give those titles away. Not cheap anyway. But whenever Paul's in the field, Paul Moore, you don't bet against him usually. Comfortable in life now, he's got himself a regular job again, and still bowling, of course. He's soon to be a daddy in the summer. It's 257 for Paul Moore. Martin Bishop says, good call, Dom. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other players in the field that can win it. Anthony Simonson, the PBA star, still in there, throwing plastic at the moment. So when he properly finds it, the field will be in danger. Barry Foley, well, he's in the tournament still. He's got a belief in himself that he can win this again. He's the only Irish winner of the tournament. which makes it pretty special anyway. But to be the only one that's done it twice, I'm sure he would really enjoy. But let's not forget the long-term leader, Alan Bride. 1462, I think, in his early score. Not seen much of him all week, but he'll be in for the finals and certainly one to watch. What do you all think? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you want to win? Can you separate emotion from facts as to are these people good enough? Be nice to see a new winner, someone that's never won it before. Stephen Gill, for instance, would be a big result for him and for Scotland. There's no mugs in there, let's be honest. Tora Torgenson's up there. Bernice Lim from Singapore, she's really good. Ghislaine, she might well break into the top 4 yet. I think Paul's going to have something to do with that. I can see Paul bowling 14-20, 14-30 easily. But we'll see as the transition hits him. He's almost 100 over after 2. James says, how about another Foley-Simonson final? Yeah, that would be good. Be a chance for Barry to avenge last year. Seemed that Anthony Simonson had the crowd last year, which I thought were a bit disappointing, because when you've got a home nation player in there, they should be getting the noise. But Anthony is a crowd favourite as well. The Irish were supporting the Irishman and the English were supporting the American. Martin Bishop says Philbs for me, or Pete Stevenson. Yeah, another name that's still in the mix. But let's not forget Thomas Kaiko, the current leader. He's not bowled any bad squads so far. And he's the current leader with 1476, which, as all the other players will tell you, it's not been the easiest of weeks. New lane machine, new oil. Same pattern, playing a little bit different. We've not had any 1500s yet. We had a few last year, which for me makes it a better event this year, because nobody's chasing those really big scores. They're chasing a score that's reasonably accessible. Makes a little bit more exciting. There's more entries going in because of it. People still think they've got a chance. So on the featured pair now, Glenn Richardson, Karen Salamar, Matthias Reinertsen and Dervin Guvan. But yeah, if I had to go out on a limb, I'm going to go Thirlby and Bernice Lim for the titles. Bernice will be only the second Asian ever to win this event. Sharon Lowe won it back in the 90s. Jamie Bottomley, has the new machine made the lanes more playable, using stronger gear or laying more oil? I think the oil's a bit thicker, people were saying, so it's kind of just playing a lot different to before. Players are struggling with transition across the house. They're starting off brightly and then they're struggling kind of in the middle order and then getting stronger towards the end again. And it's happened to quite a lot of players. There's not too many players that have had good games all the way through the block. There has been a few, of course. No, I like what's happened, Jamie. I think it's been good for the tournament this year that things have changed a little bit. It's nothing worse than going to a centre and it being the same every year, and then the same players hitting 15 and 1600. Kind of ruins it for everybody else when you're chasing them kind of scores, a la Brunswick Euro Challenge, where you've got to shoot 1440 just to make the cut or more. is certainly accessible at the minute for players. There's players in the last squad think they can actually still do it, which is good. But a lot of bowling still to go. A few final steps, and then we're into the kind of match play, one against one scenario, and sometimes that's just the luck of the draw and the luck of the pair that you're on that particular match. If Paul Moore's up there and he hits a pair that he enjoys, you're going to have to shoot 500 to go past him or more. What do you all think as viewers? How have you viewed the tournament so far? From what you can see on the lanes, do they look like they're playing a shot that you could play yourself? The lefties look like they've come through in the last couple of days. With Stephen Gill last night, and Paul Moore's been bowling well. Maybe seems that the lefties with a little bit less traffic have got a little bit more balance across the house. Not changing as much for them as it is the right-handers. But there's other lefties like Glenn Richardson that have struggled a little bit. Mark Patrick, any big high scores this squad, Dom? Paul Moore's on about 100 over after two. He went 240 odd, 250 odd. Take a run down shortly. In fact, I'll go down on the end of game 3 and game 5. It gives us time to kind of see how it's shaping up. I know there's a few players out there sweating on positions that'll be watching. I want to know if anybody's dumping them out the tournament or not, and if they have to get dressed quick and come down for the Desperado. Desperado starts at 7:30, sir, asks Martin Bishop. Jamie Bottomley, are Rog and did Stephen Gill both use urethane? Ball of choice for lefties. I'm not sure about Paul, but yeah, pitch black for Stephen Gill last night all the way through. Didn't move too much. But a bit of history made if Paul Moore wins again. He'll be the first 4-time winner of this event. So on your featured pair, Matthias Renatson, front 3. Glenn Richardson, strike spare. Karon Salabar, strike 9 miss. And Dervrin Govan on a spare strike. Welcome back to Scott Walmsley, who had in the virtual studio last night. Always a pleasure to talk to Scott. Not the first time we've had him in the studio. He's been a squad winner in this event before. A reminder, if you want to watch this on a big screen, you want to be using the YouTube stream that we've got going. So just go to YouTube and type in Talk Temping, and you will find the YouTube stream live. We've got that going out in 1080, and we've also doubled up this week, and we're putting it out live on Facebook as well for people that enjoy watching stuff on Facebook. Please share the Facebook page far and wide if you can. We'll very much appreciate that. Been a good week for hits. We're currently ahead of Flow Bowling on stats, which is not too bad when you consider they're the PBA. So at the moment, yeah, Talk Temping's on 2.7k reach on engagement, and Flow Bowling on 2.3k. But we've got about another 5,000 to catch up the Professional Bowlers Association at 7.6. But having said that, professional bowlers have got 203,000 likes on their total page likes. Flow Bowling's got 10.7k, Talk Temping 9.1k, and we're ahead of Bowling Digital at the minute on 1.1k reach for this week. Come on, Beale, says Jamie Bottomley. He's got nowhere else to go. Oh, spare display. Get in there, boy. Welcome to Aaron Foley, to Alice Pato and Manel Hannon. Thanks for rejoining us, or if you've come for the first time, thank you. Pete Rogers looking forward to seeing Ghislaine smash it. Good luck, Glenn, says Manel Hannon. He's in the pocket for another strike. So Glenn Richardson on 80 in the fourth, with a strike in the fifth. Karon Salama on 28 in the second, but a double working now. Matthias Reinertsen on a 2.79 pace, front three, spare strike. And Dervin Guven, 73 in the fourth after an open frame. Paul Moore started again with a few strikes on a 280 pace at the minute. Strike spare double. So if you weren't worried before Stephen Gill, you might be soon, because Paul looks like he's in command of it at the moment. The only thing that's going to beat him is going to be the transition if he can't work it out, but that kid's got 20 odd years experience of transitions. I don't know if he's bowling with urethane like you were though, Stephen. Xander Penny's joined us. Welcome, Xander. How are Dirty Leeds getting on today? Are they playing? Another strike for Reinertsen. Keeps his 279 pace going. Glenn Richardson looking for a Barney Rubble on lane 10. Paul Moore adds another strike for 4 in a row, 280 pace. A 280 from Paul now will put him about 180 over after 3. As Xander says, sadly lost 2-0 to Stoke, 2-1. Yeah, sounds like Leeds United. Maybe because the manager never sent the spies out this week. Hello? You okay? Live streaming? Hi, nice to meet you. Anne-Marie Bord's in the house, my boss at Cubic AMF World Cup. So Glenn did get his double. Reinertsen looking for a turkey while he keeps his 279 pace going. Welcome back to Ian Henderson. And if you've just joined us, you're watching the 31st Irish Open live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTemping.net. You may know me from shows such as social media at the Cubic AMF and UK Temping Hall of Fame. I keep busy. 279 then pace for Matthias Reinertsen. Yep, Paul's just struck again for 5 in a row. Still that 280 pace on the board. He's going to shoot around about 790 for his first 3. 780, 790 if he carries on the way he is doing. It's different gravy, is that kid? Even after all these years. Welcome to Fiona Banks, one of the top 20 greatest players in the UK ever. Hi, Finney. Thanks for joining us. We're into game 3 of 6 in this final block 14 or squad 14. A few players chasing the spots now. Paul Moore's flying. We'll take a run down very shortly and get some scores and see who's doing what. Keep your comments and chat coming in. And for those of you that don't already know, this will be my last Irish Open and Simon's last Irish Open. We're handing over to a new streaming team next year. We've done our bit, I think. But I'll still be working on the Irish Open for Talk Temping. Just doing it from home. Thanks to Mikey Rowe for the photographs and the new streaming team next year. We will still be providing full coverage on Talk Temping. And we've had discussions with Bowling Digital recently. Herbert announced that Bowling Digital was going to be going offline this year. Stopped updating it over Christmas, and they said he was going to go offline sometime this year. But we as Talk Temping have reached out to him and offered to keep that content online free of charge and post it for him. I've not gone 12 years trying to find the history of the sport to let a website disappear just because it's owned by a rival. But if we can keep him online, we will. I think there's other people interested in doing the same, so whoever does it, doesn't matter as long as that information's kept online. Herbert Bickle at Bowling Digital have been doing it for about 20 years, and I think you'll all agree that Bowling Digital has been an awesome website, and to lose the content that he did for all those years would be, well, upsetting. Scott Wormsley said, "We'll miss you, Dom and Simon. Big thank you for all the great effort. We've still got a day and a half to go. I'll try and keep it real, keep it fun for you." I will be around to go again though this year. I'll be at the World Cup in the autumn, wherever that is. Still don't know where it's going to be, which is always exciting. I've put my wish list in. I'd like it to be in either Japan or Europe. Europe, so I don't get an 8-hour flight somewhere. But Japan, just because Japan looks like a cool place. But wherever it is, it'll be a good tournament as always. There was only really one gig I ever wanted to do when I started with Talk Temping. I really wanted to work on the World Cup at some point, and I got the opportunity thanks to Darren Lewis at the UK office. Panicking the first year that I was going to be any good at it. Felt like a lot of pressure, but I managed to get asked back, and I've been doing it 4 years now, so hopefully that can continue. But of course, Talk Temping still going, still work on, that's my day job. Welcome back to Kenny Birch. keep your comments and chat coming in. You got any questions, any particular players you wanting some scores for? I'm going to be going down there in a minute just to see who's leading after 3. I think it's safe to say it's probably going to be Paul Moore. His run of strikes has stopped, but he's on for a 260, which would put him about 760, 770 over 3, chasing down the top 4. Hi to Rita Wood, my second mummy, who looked after me when I was younger. When I was younger and crazier. Thanks, Rita. Really do appreciate what you did for me all those years ago. Glenn Richardson homing in now on this final frame. 178 in the 8th with a spare working in the 9th. He's looking a little bit better. Matthias Reinertsen, 198 in the 8th with a strike in the 9th. Also going really well. Can't believe it's like a who's who of top people within bowling today. We've got the Chrismans from Storm here. We've got Anne-Marie and Bernard from the Cubic AMF World Cup. We've got Nick Kepi and Roger Witchelo from Bowltech. Might go back there shortly and beg on my hands and knees for sponsorship for Talk Temping. Single pin there, leave for Glenn Richardson's going to slow him down a little bit. It's going to finish with about a 217 if he spare strikes. So to let you know, if you didn't already know, I'll remind you, we've been running a competition on Talk Temping and the UK Hall of Fame this week to name the top 4 male and female bowlers of all time in the correct order. We closed the entries last night. We have a winner, and that will be revealed tomorrow. Nobody got it exactly right, but we devised a way to work out who was the closest, and we have a winner. So we're going to name the top 20 in order tomorrow. I'm going to try and get Bill Chrisman himself to maybe mention the top 4. He's the sponsor of the UK Temping Hall of Fame, and we do thank Bill and Storm for all their kind support of the Hall of Fame. Couldn't do it without a sponsor. The nominations for the Hall of Fame will be starting very shortly. The committee, the 10-strong committee, will be putting their nominations forward, and then we will vote on those said nominations to find the 2 or 4 or whoever will be inducted this year. If we get a tie, we might end up with 2 male or 2 female, who knows. But when you've got 60 years of history, you've got a lot of names that deserve spots. So for you out there, under consideration in the top 20, if you don't make your position yet, rest assured it's just a matter of time, really. We can't induct everybody at once, and if we do, then we'd have nobody to induct the following year. And the other thing is, when you see the database list of the top 20, it's not a given that the next name on the list will be inducted. There's lots of other things to consider, like when medals and titles were won, what era. Obviously, there wasn't as many tournaments in the 70s and 60s and 80s compared to there is nowadays. There wasn't the chance at the big points on the PBA Tour or the EBT like there is today. But I think you'll all be pleasantly surprised and impressed with the amount of work that's gone into it from David Granger. I've had a hand in getting him the results, but it's all him. So if you thank me, please don't thank me as much as thanking David when you see the list. He's put hours and hours into building a database from scratch. I'm going to take credit for finding the right person though, because when I wanted to build this thing, I thought, where'd you go? Who's going to do it? Who's going to put the effort in? And David obviously was the man that started the NST back in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, kind of early 80s it started, but he was the first person, together with David Simons, to bring computer results to bowling. He had a couple of Apple IIs and a load of monitors, and they dragged them all around the country. Black and white monitors to do the scoring. So yeah, David's built the database from scratch in Microsoft Access. And it's not the final article yet. We do want it to be fully online, so we're looking for somebody that builds databases to help us realize the final version of the database, but we're confident that we can release the information next week. And it's solid, it's real, it's a history saved basically. Let's face it, we didn't have a history. It all went up in I once heard a fire, but it turned out to be a flood at BTBA Balfour Road. So the BTBA had no real records for anything for the last 60 years. Even the websites that they had over the years seemed to just disappear. And I'm not sure if whoever did a website fell out with them and then took it offline, and then the next one did the same, but no real results. But we've got them all now. 246 then for Karon Salama. 213 for Glenn Richardson. 253 for Reinertsen. And we're just going to wait for the rest of the lanes to finish up. I'll be going down the lanes to get some scores, so I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'll be back with some scores, but keep watching. Right, sorry about the delay, folks. And yeah, Lee Cocker, what's the crack? Anyone having anything decent? Says. I've just been down the lanes, and it looks like the pick of the players at the moment. Nicole Sanders on 668. Glenn Richardson on 673. Karon Salamar on 700. Matthias Reinertsen on 712. And Paul Moore on 725. So it looks like it's between Salamar, Reinertsen and Paul Moore chasing down the top positions. Paul 246, 257, 222. Reinertsen opened up with a 191, but he's got really strong with 268, 253. Alright, welcome back to the 31st Irish Open, live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. I'm Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net, but you probably already knew that. And welcome to Joe Cundy's comeback, and welcome to Stuart Williams. Hi, Stu. Hope all is well. Gav Greaves has opened up with front 5 down on 11 and 12. If you just joined us, it looks like Nicole Sanders is up there with 668 after 3. Glenn Richardson on 673. Karon Salamar from Finland on 700 dead. Matthias Reinertsen on 712. And Paul Moore on 725. Paul, a 3-time champion, looking to win it for a 4th time. He just said to me then, have I won it 3 times? I don't know, Paul, you've won that much, can't you remember? But yeah, he's won it 3 times. Dom Barrett's won it 3 times. In fact, I can go through the list of winners. We've got them. Bear with me a moment. It does read like a who's who of bowling talent. Anybody that's picked up one of the titles at some point. Huh? Yeah, we haven't had you on at all. Right, got Barry Foley with us.
How's it going?
Welcome, Barry. You okay?
Yeah, nice one. What's the story?
We've got Paul Moore on about 725. We've got Reinertsen on 712. Salamar on 700. Richardson on 673. And Nicole on 668 at the minute.
Very good, very good. Yes, challenging times. This. How
have you found it this week? Because
it's been yeah, it's, you know, we got a new machine a couple of months back, the Icon, and we're using this this oil that's fire and ice. I don't know much about it now, to be honest.
No, I don't either.
Obviously, look, this is a very high scoring tournament. It has been for many years, and the last 6 years, I suppose, for me, I've been coming in here and shooting huge numbers. 1400s was like par for me, you know.
Yeah.
But I've bowled 4 times, and the first 2 times I bowled, I was, for my first 3 games, I was 730, 720.
Yeah.
But they transition, and the transition is what's killing me. I obviously haven't seen it before. We normally bowl 3 games in league. We normally play a Rocks tournament, which is 5 games. But the 5-game Rock tournament we had before the Irish Open was supposed to be the pattern. And I was 1250 for 5. So I came in then the following Sunday thinking, no problem. Started off at 230, 260, 220. Everything was going well. And then I seen a transition that I'd never seen before. Put the ball out, wouldn't come back. Try and keep it tight, jump at the arrows.
Yeah.
You go to pair, 1 lane, you couldn't strike to save your,
it's foxed the regular players a little bit because you've come in thinking it's going to be roughly the same, and it's nothing like it usually is.
No, it's just the transition. It's just, if you can cope with the transition, and it goes back to knowing your equipment, your arsenal, having the right layouts.
Yeah.
And I've had to fiddle around with stuff. I had to pop a couple of balls, but where I always get through it is where I'm more aggressive and throw the ball harder.
Yeah.
The phase 2, I'm getting it through the heads, and it's finishing incredibly. If I can keep it tight.
What did you have in that last block?
I'd 10 more than what I had, which is 13, 16. So,
right.
But I'd 6 200 games, which I was obviously happy about. I always look at my game if I'm having 170s, or I had a 140 this week.
Wow.
I've had a 170, I've had a 180, and I'm kind of looking at myself going, I don't really normally throw 170s, 180s, 140s at Irish Opens.
Yeah.
Something wrong here. So I had to go off and rethink, and mentally I had to change my way of thinking. I was very impatient on Thursday, Friday. I showed ridiculous impatience. I fouled on Friday. I was at 259, started off well, fouled. That killed me.
Yeah.
So mentally, Barry in the pro shop just said to me, you've got to stop moaning. You've just got to stop moaning and
stop chasing it.
Stop chasing it. You're going to have to accept that maybe 1350, 1360 is enough. That's all you can do.
Yeah. You've got so used to being so high up the field, though, aren't you? That to come into it this year, you're going to have to fight for it a little bit earlier, so to speak.
Yeah, to come in and
but it might give you a bit more time on the lanes, and
that's what if I'm always known for doing things the hard way. So, you have to accept guys will come in, guys that never really normally make top 16, or they'll always lose out that last Saturday night or Sunday. They've actually shot very well, and bowlers like Jamie Elliott and the guy from Holland that won the squad last night.
Oh yeah, Scott Walmsley.
So these guys that they come over here every year, and they're smooth players, they're lovely bowlers, but you look at them and go, how are you guys not performing on this easy pattern?
Yeah. And
you get a little bit tighter out there, and because they're so smooth and the beautiful releases, they find a pattern that suits them, and you're going to find bowlers at the top of the tree here that probably aren't normally there. Well, I mean, if you look, obviously, Alan Broyd, this is his home centre as well, so it's not a surprise. If me and Alan were first and second, or vice versa, it's not a surprise.
You played that first squad that Alan played, though. Did they play different then to what you've been seeing later on in the week?
They played different to the previous week that we were told what we were playing on.
Right. That's what Barry said.
Then I came in on the Thursday, and they were very similar first 3 games, but the second 3 were exactly like the 3 games on the Sunday. I found that it's just a transition. Because when you bowl in Stillorgan and you bowl 6 games and you don't really change ball much, you might change once. You're using the one ball going, no, it can't be the lane, it's got to be me, and you're throwing and you're hitting your target, and you're like, okay, that's 10, and you're leaving 5 7s in the pocket, you're leaving you're ringing 10s, you're leaving a mix of pins that you never really leave. Then all of a sudden you try and send it a fraction right to try and maybe to bite back harder. Skid stays out.
Yeah.
And then you're obviously going, you're thugging it, and then you're tensing up. Today I was loose. Today. I had 6 200 games. I had 116 over. I could have been 216 over, but the 116, I would have been about 50, probably about 40 or 50 over the day before, because I was mentally better today.
Yeah. Which ball has been working for you?
I've started with the Reckham, the Roto Grip Reckham ball. I put a bit of 2000 on it, and it's beautiful. It holds lovely, but I'm only getting 2 games of it. So today I tried the High Road X and it's really smooth. And I'm a little bit more left with it, but I'm able to get a bit more area, and I'm carrying better.
Yeah.
What probably killed me today is that the fact that it bites a bit more. I was leaving a lot of 4 pins. I was jumping where with the Wreckham, the ball would probably hold. I'd probably carry, but I was getting the high road X to the pocket a lot more today.
As it stands at the minute, where do you play later on tonight then?
Well, I'm 29th, so I think if I drop, I can drop a couple of places and I'll be on first.
Yeah.
So it's back to scratch.
That's better. If you're on first, it gives you a nice, evening resting.
Yeah. And the fact that it's 4 games, I've got 2 balls that I think can get me through the 4 games.
You've been all right on the fresh for 3 games, basically.
Yeah.
So if you can keep it going on that 4th game, you're probably going to be laughing.
Well, my 4th game today was 250.
Right.
Or 240.
So you're beginning to work it out then.
I'm beginning to work it out, and it's starting to. But it's all about the pairs. 17 and 18 seem good on the second string. Like from the 4th game, 7 and 18 were beautiful. 7 and 18 were really weird yesterday on the 3rd game.
Let's be honest though, you put a lot more pressure on yourself because it's this event, don't you?
You have to. I mean, it's.
And
people are looking at me going.
You're the only Irish winner. So
people look at me going, yeah, how come Barry Foley's only 106? But look, if everyone was shooting millions and I was shooting 106 over, I'd be looking at myself. But it's everybody's having the same problem.
Yeah, but how many times do you bowl in a qualifying and you shoot millions and then you get to the next rounds and you go out easily?
That's exactly it.
It's the opposite way around now. You've struggled and now it's time to...
I'm looking to get into 15th or 16th place.
Yeah.
I would love to get into 16th place on Sunday because I'm going to play the leader. And I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, you do thrive on that kind of stuff.
The leader doesn't want Barry Foley.
No, well, none of them want Barry Foley, let's be honest. You're all going to give all of them a game.
Everyone's going to get a game.
Let's be fair about that.
And it's only 2 games.
Yeah,
and
true.
And it's on the fresh. On the first, the lanes are oiled. On the 2nd string, they're fresh again. A little quicker, which suits me even more. And then, it's 2 games. So, like over 2 games, I have a shot for 2 games.
It could fall into place, Barry. It's all there for the taking still.
Just have to stay.
I mean, with 100 pins down on last year, a lot of 15s and stuff, and you were chasing bigger scores. At least it's
200 pins down on last year.
Yeah.
But you know what? To be honest, you come over here and you look at it and go, yeah. I mean, Owen Leviota 300, 1377. Your Paul Moore comes in late last night, shoots 170 or 180.
The last couple of days, though, it's looked like it's favouring the lefties a little bit. Stephen Gill as well, where throwing the pitch black down, and Ghislaine as well. The lefties are feeling fairly comfortable.
Definitely. So it's going to be
it's benefiting them this week.
There'll be at least 6 or 7 lefties in the
top
16.
Could well be. Yeah,
I think so.
Kim Richardson, keep it up. Glenn Richardson, Michael McCall, let's go, Greggy. Thomas Whelan says hi, Barry.
All right, Thomas.
And Manel Hannon says greetings, Barry.
Greetings. Oh yes, hi. How are you? Yeah, we missed Sam this weekend. She was supposed to come over, but yes, I spoke to her a few weeks ago, and she was here last year with her friend from France.
That's right. Yeah.
And Wendy. And they're not here. So there's a lot of bowlers that were here last year that aren't here this year,
and a few new ones this year. To be fair.
Hope everybody's keeping well there back home in the UK.
Right, your featured pair there. We've got a run of strikes, 6 in a row from Einar Bjornsson from Iceland.
This guy is gas. This guy went 7 miss last night with a urethane. Took out the plastic and went off the sheet.
Yeah.
He was in Mexico. Actually. Yeah, he's in Mexico actually 2 years ago, the World Cup. Remember, you were there?
Yep.
And he was next door to me, and he missed about 3 5-pins.
Wow.
And he went for a walk. He says, "Listen, I'm gonna walk back to the hotel." He walked back to the wrong hotel. He went back to the wrong Holiday Inn. Anyway, about 3 hours later, he comes back. I was knocking on the door, and where were you? Like, I thought we were meeting up for food, and he saw I walked to the wrong hotel.
At night in Hermosillo.
Yeah. Not the best place to go missing.
No.
So that's it. That is it. So one thing I've noticed the weekend, which I'm extremely disappointed about, and I've got to mention it because, and I do it myself, but the amount of bowlers on their phones.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to be an Olympic sport, we've got to be realistic here. I mean, we're on the lanes. I have to say, this weekend I've put my phone away. I put it in my jacket. I put my jacket up behind the lanes. But if we want to be an Olympic sport, get off your phone. What do
in life though, Barry?
What does the 100 meters do? The athletes before they do a 400 meter or 100 meter or 800 meter. They're not on their phones.
Well, there might be nowadays because it's gone crazy, hasn't it, with that social media thing, taking selfies and watching your replay of what you've just done because we've got it on.
They're on their phones when they're off track or when they're when
they're
they're out on track.
At the back all having a meal and they're all on the phones. It's just the way it's going with that.
They've got to get off. We need to bring a rule in. You've got to get off your phone when you're bowling. It's not professional. It isn't. We want to be an Olympic sport. Mobile phones have to be put away for tournaments.
If you're listening in EBT, that might be a rule that needs to come in the future.
It has to come in.
It is beginning to take over in a lot of areas.
On one pair of lanes yesterday, and the 4 of them were on their phones. 4 of them were on their phones, and 2 of them were on their phones. Every single frame, walk back on the phone, and then they're wondering where they're bowling back. Seriously, put the phones away. Yeah, go on your phone if you're playing league or. League, I take league as practice. I use league as my practice. In tournament, we're supposed to be an example to the people that are walking off the street that see Denmark, Bulgaria, that see Holland, they see France, they see Ireland. You're sitting on the lanes and you're on your phone.
What do you all think out there? Do you agree with Barry? Is it getting a little bit crazy with phones and stuff?
Get off the phone, put them away, make it a rule. You're caught on your phone, you get a fine. Put your phone away until the bowling's finished.
So how are you going to attack the next squad then? What are you going to start with, and how are you going to get your mindset on it?
Well, I got a couple of balls there, obviously the High Road X, and I have. I'm going to probably start with that. I'll take the Wreckham out as well. They might change. The thing about this centre is you could bowl now later on after this Desperado, and they're completely drier. They could be quicker. They could be. You don't know, but I'll have 3 or 4 balls ready to go, and definitely I'll have a look. I'll definitely be set up early enough. I'm confident enough to get set up. So it's just spares will get you through. Spares will get you through.
You've seen a lot of the players while you've been on your squads. Are any of you thinking that they're going to go a little bit further in this tournament this year?
Yeah, the Finn actually.
Who's to watch out for?
Who's the
Thomas Kaiko.
No, it's another guy.
The other one, Sippola.
Yeah, I like him. He looks good. I think obviously Paul Moore being lefty, he's a chance. Rob Thurlby top 16, he'll be there. Obviously Jamie Elliott's there, but if this is the type of tournament that we could mention 25 bowlers now, and not one of them would not one of them will win it. It could be, who would have thought I would have won it in 2013? What was that? How about Well, look,
about a return match from Ewan Simonson last year.
I'll be honest. I had a chat with him there 2 days ago. We cleared the air. We cleared the air. I actually apologised to him, and if anything, I let myself down. I got sort of involved more so with the crowd. I know the crowd were behind him. Listen, I don't care. I bowl for me. I bowl for my family. I don't really care who roars for whoever you are. I got to the final against a professional bowler. I was the best amateur that weekend. I was the best one-hander that weekend. That was my second final. And if you feel you need to stand at the back of a lane and support and roar at Anthony, which he deserves. He's a pro. People are probably admire him. They like him. But it was his first time here. Obviously, it was over. It was over the top.
People get excited by the big players, don't they?
Yeah, but it was over the top. It was borderline, sort of, in your face, and sort of anti-Barry Foley.
I know what you mean.
Look, that doesn't bother me.
You had the Irish behind you, but you just had the English and the other ones being a little bit noisier in the end. It's just,
Listen, come here. When you're standing at the back of the lane and you're roaring for somebody to win because you don't like the other guy, go home. Look in the mirror at yourself and ask yourself.
There's a lot of that in sport, though, isn't there?
Look at yourself and go, would I like to be in that final? Yes, you would. So if you can't accept it, grow up. I don't really care. I've won this tournament, and I have my name on a list of.
Can't take that.
Greats. I'm on a list of names with Stu Williams, Don Barrett.
I'm going to say we're just about to go through the list, actually. Where is it now?
So
Chris Buck, Steve Gomersall, Del Delaney, Marcel van der Bosch, Nico Tiampon, Jeff Buck, Tyler Torgerson, Thomas Lee Anderson twice. Paul Moore's won it 3. Stu Williams, as you said, Nick Froggatt, Don Barrett, Barry Foley down there in 13, the only Irish one. Brian Voss a couple of times.
Torrey 2-time
winner. 21 years apart, and Anthony Simonson. Exactly. It reads like a who's who of great bowlers, all said and done.
Look, when this centre eventually goes, whether it be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and I don't know whether we'll have an Irish Open in 2 or 3 years. I don't know. You know,
There's talk of a new centre getting built though or something.
yeah, but I mean, you know, it might not be necessarily suitable for an Irish Open. You know, a lot of these centres that they build now are
Usually string machines
usually
out there, a lot of
yeah,
them.
yeah, and
Entertainment centres.
yeah, but there's a cinema attached to it. There's no food area. There's no seating area. This is like a stadium at the back here. This is like, you know, this is really what bowling's about. You walk in here and you see bowling lanes.
Yeah.
You walk into other bowling centres and you just see sweet machines. You see teddy bear machines. You see air hockey, pool, snooker, crash, quasar. You know,
There's a mix
that's the
of
way
that here,
business
but
is.
it's over that side though,
Yeah,
isn't
exactly. But when you walk in the door here, you see the lanes. I mean, you can walk in other centres and you have to walk for like 20 seconds before you see the lanes. You know.
Yeah.
This is the who's who. This is the best of the best right here. This centre, and when this goes, it's there's a, you know, it's like somebody passed away, or you know, a piece of something goes with the whole historic and
Well, especially something
this
that's been
tournament
around for
is.
so long, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be something missing, you know, in this tournament if it ever moves to another centre. It won't be the same. It won't be the same.
Hey, it can't be, but I mean, it's the centres. The tournament's only as good as the people that play it, though.
Yeah, because then, like, if you look at the two pubs, Boland's and the Orchard, and then the hotel, you know, it's not like that in Charlestown or Blanchardstown. It's not like that in Coolock. There's hotels, but you can't just walk to a hotel.
Yeah.
There's no decent pubs. You're not going to get the same buzz, and you're going to lose the people that come over just for the few points.
How far away is this other one planned?
Well, rumours is Cherrywood, so
How far's that away?
it's about probably 20 minutes from here.
Right, okay.
15, 20 minutes.
But the dynamic of everything around it's going to be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there'll be no bowlings, there'll be no Orchard, there'll be no nightclubs, there'll be, you know, the nightclub days are gone now. They're all late bars, and you know, it's all changed. You know, Lily's is finishing up tonight. Lily Bordello's, I think, is a
All right.
big nightclub in Grafton Street.
Yeah.
That's finished tonight. It's the last night tonight. They're closing down, and they're going to a late bar. Probably a
Right.
late bar because too many claims apparently.
Yeah.
Too many claims. People are drinking gin and wine at home and going to Lily's and falling over and
Making a claim.
snapping an ankle. You know.
Wow. Tony O'Hare says, "Good luck, Barry."
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Izzy Allen.
Hey, Izzy. Izzy's the future. She's an
Yeah,
amazing baller.
she's a quality player, isn't she?
She's a great baller. I've watched Izzy
She's
in Romania last year, and she's so young, and she throws the ball as if she's like in her 30s. she's
pretty tall though, isn't she?
So tall, and she's so well built, and she's
Yeah,
so
built-
much power.
built for bowling.
So unbelievable. She's got great potential. She's got a really bright future, and a girl like that, you know, you hope gets a scholarship in America and goes to the Weber School of Bowling and
Yeah, it
learns
picks up-
it really there and stays
Yeah.
out there and gives it a good go. Yeah, you have to do your 5-6 years of going around Europe and getting that experience before you go over there.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you've
so
got-
different.
Yeah, you've got to bleed in. You've got to play a few EBTs before you
Do.
even attempt America or anything.
Yeah, if you look at Diana Zavakova, I'm a massive fan, a good friend. She was in Vegas. We're very good friends. We stay in touch a lot. And I remember seeing her first time in Barcelona. And I was blown away.
16-year-old, yeah.
Blown away. She was on the lanes with me and she shot 279 and didn't break sweat. You know, and she made the top. I think she made the last cut. She was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I said, you're going to be a pro. You're going to win Queens. She's won it twice, has she?
I believe so, yeah.
She's unreal. Great bowler. So
I thought she was going to win the World Cup this year. I think most people thought she was going to win it.
you know what? She didn't. As good as she is, there was something missing. I don't know what it was. I was hoping she'd win, but there's just something missing. And even with Shannon didn't look great at times, but she was just steady. And then, of course, it was more or less handed to Shannon on the 10th.
Yeah, 10th, yeah.
She won it
was-
sitting down, didn't she?
She'd pretty much lost it, and
Yeah.
more shock than anything.
I think she needed. I think the girl just needed was it the Malaysian girl or the
Yeah.
Singapore? She needed
the
a mark.
Malaysian goal.
And had a
Needed
five
and
five.
left to split, yeah. Just happens, doesn't it, sometimes?
does.
Though. It's taken away from you in one cruel swoop sort of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Featured pair at the minute, we've got Ghislaine van der Toel, Patrick Yannick Sorensen, Sophia Rasmussen and Nicole Sanders. So two Dutchy females there that have...
Two
both-
lefties.
Yep, and they're both going to look good in the final, probably.
I think so. Nicole actually nearly beat Simonson last year.
Yeah.
And if she'd have beat him, then she would have played Stephen Joyce then.
Yeah, it would have changed the dynamic, wouldn't it?
But she was up. I think she needed a strike out on the. She opened the 9th or 8th. But if she'd have spared that, and I think she struck out, she would have won. But she had him, like. With the 8 pins, she had him.
Yeah.
But she opened on the 8th or 9th, and he struck out.
How's your bowling been recently?
Me, I'm not really.
Not been playing as much?
No, do you know, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to. I think, you know, I'm 41 now next month, and, you know, obviously people know my personal life, and we no longer Team Foley, and, you know, and
changing.
It's different.
Life changing.
Life changing, and when you don't, you're not there. When you're not around the family as much, and, you know, obviously,
yeah,
you move on and things happen, and I'm just not enjoying it as much. Last year, I think I had Sarah with me, and, you know, it was quite emotional after the quarter final, because, you know, I was so happy Sarah was there, and I suppose I was missing the rest of the family. I was hoping the other kids would be there, because in 213 everyone was there, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just hoping, I don't know, just after the Irish Open last year, I just felt different about bowling.
You didn't look your same self in Vegas, to be fair.
No, I bowled better than Vegas as I did in Mexico, but I was just, when I go away on my own, I find it very, very difficult.
It's quite lonely.
Very, very difficult.
I remember you saying me at the World Cup that, you know, people are out, they're mixing with who they mix with, and sometimes you can end up on your own, and
yeah,
you don't feel part of it. I'm the same, and I'm working there on it.
Yeah, it is. It's very. Look, it's nice to know you're going home to your family, but then when you're not going home to the family, then it's, you know, it's obviously different. So
yeah.
Look, life changes, and, you know, as crazy as I am out there in the lanes, that's not me off the lanes. I'm quite sensitive. I'm quite soft, quite sensitive person.
We all are, Barry.
But I just use my aggression, I suppose, my passion more so. My passion can come across as aggressive, but it's not. It's just my passion for the game. So, you know, everybody's different. You know, nobody wants, you know, 25 Paul Moores. You know, we have a Paul Moore. We know Paul's a quiet guy.
Yeah.
We know he's, you know, he doesn't say much. We know in the lanes he can be quiet. He can be different.
That's the beauty of bowling, though. Everybody is different.
Everyone's different. So
everybody's got something about them. And
look, we certainly don't want 2 Barry Foleys. I'm sure there's another kind of Barry Foley out there, but if you look at, you know, Pete Webber, and
he'd give you a game anyway, wouldn't he? The other Barry Foley.
Exactly. But look, it's just bowling. You know what I mean? I've enjoyed it. It's my 30th year bowling, and you know, I've enjoyed it. I started in 1989, and yeah, I've won everything in Ireland. I've won match plays and Leinster Opens, and I've won, you know, I've won everything. And obviously achieved the biggest one in 2013, and I thought I was going to do it again last year. But I've achieved everything. I've bowled for Ireland. I've won an FIQ medal. I've played Worlds. I've done Bakers. I've done World Cups. I've won championships. I've done ECCs. You know, I've done it. There's
the other thing's the money, Barry. It costs a fortune these days to do all them things.
I've other things I want to do. I've other things I'd like to do with my life before I'm 50, if I can.
If I can make it to it.
Make it to 50, but I'd like to do some. So I'm in the middle of setting up a business at the moment, but it's obviously costing.
Yeah.
And then obviously I would like to get into the music industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making it or performing
Just
it?
Like to be. Yeah, I'd like to do a little bit of karaoke, a little bit of DJing, a little bit of performing.
There is that about you. You do sing.
I like to sing. But I impersonate, as you know, I do Tom Jones, and I can impersonate.
You need a bar in a hot place somewhere, don't you? Really, and you know.
Yeah, but I'd like to do it. Like
Barry's karaoke bar sort of thing.
Something like that. Yeah, I'd like to do it. But look, I just want to.
Something different.
I'd like to learn another language. I'd like to play an instrument instead of me all the time, you know.
Do it then. Just learn piano and, you know, do a bit of singing.
I'd like to play guitar. I'd love to play guitar and do a bit of Dire Straits or something, you know.
I wish I'd learned music when I was younger.
Passion for music. I like music. So I've achieved coaching. I'm silver level. I've done my level 2 here in Ireland. I can now coach in Ireland. You know, I'm now a recognised coach, where when I done my silver in America, which was really, really difficult. You know, when I came back here and done the coaching courses here, it's about 40% of what I did in America. Like, it's
yeah.
Where we're not on the same page, like. And it was more like my exam for my silver was far more difficult than what I had to do here. Like, really, it was just like walking the dog. But obviously because I did it and I had all the information, so it was easy. And even at the course, I felt things were probably worded wrong. And, you know, like when you say the ball hooks more, the ball doesn't hook more. The ball either rolls early or rolls later. So I had to kind of correct things like that and say, that's actually wrong. The ball doesn't hook more.
When you did all that information, though, did it confuse what you knew about your own game?
You know,
did you start looking at it more as a coach as opposed to Barry?
No. I actually got better mentally. But it made me a better coach because when I was coaching Aaron and Sarah, I was throwing every ball for them.
Yeah.
I was like on the back of the lanes when I'm like on the lanes.
Parent coach, it's difficult.
It was horrible. Yeah, I was terrible at it. I was a command coach. I was a do.
Yeah.
I was terrible. I'd be honest, I was terrible. When I did my silver, I came home and went, oh dear God, I'm a terrible coach. So it took me 3 to 4 years more then to learn how to be that step back, put the responsibility on the bowler, guide them, help them, obviously explain things. You've got to still know lane.
You're there for support, not pressure.
Exactly.
Aren't you, really?
You've got to still know. You've got to still know how to, you know, what sort of ball layout suit each bowler and lane transition and lane play and what sort of arsenal you need. You need to know that information. This is stuff that took me years to learn.
Yeah.
We used to look at these bowlers years and go, how are they so good and we're so bad? Not that we were so bad, but we were so far behind.
Behind them, yeah.
And it was because they used to come in with bowling balls that suited what they played on. And we were forcing our bowling balls down the lane. Like Philip Dunn could have played with a sponge. His mental game was just unbelievable, you know. But if you came in with the right equipment, the Swedes and back in the early 90s, they were coming in and they just knew a little bit more about us around the bowling balls and layouts and lanes, and they played on more difficult patterns. So when they came to Ireland, it was easy for them, you know. We never got a look in.
We saw a lot of Swedes winning around about that era, and Norwegians and stuff. And there were different gravy with the Scandinavians at that time. But over the last kind of 5-10 years, we've caught up,
Because last year, you know, I come in, I shoot 15.09. Okay, boys, let's go. You know, you had some pros here that couldn't do it. You know, only a couple of us at 1500. So because I was matched up.
Yeah.
Years ago, we weren't matched up.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We just weren't matched up. We used our grit and determination, our concentration, and playing for your country and playing for your badge and giving it everything and blood, sweat, and tears. But you were still 195 average. Now you go out and you match up and you're 220, 240 average. And you can be
a contender.
and you can be an arsehole in the lanes with. You can run amok and be aggressive and have a moan and kick something. Shoot 240 average just because you're matched up. Come off the lanes disappointed because you left the 100 pins out there.
Yeah.
It's just gone crazy, you know. But it's been fun. I've had 30 years. I just want to do a few. It's not long left. I haven't got long left in the game. You
Time
know?
for something different for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
Come back in the seniors.
I'll come back here next year because I think it's here next year as well. So I think it's on Facebook there. The date's 12th to 19th. So look,
you'll keep doing
come back and play, but
it.
I'm not going to play leagues. I'm not going to play. I don't think I'll do the World Cup qualifier again. I've had enough World Cups. I've played 2. You know, it's time for other people to come in and just, you know.
Well, it's not been announced yet. What if we got an Irish Open here? A World Cup here?
Can't. Not with 18 lanes.
No, 18's too small, and it needs to be about 20 at least.
At least 24.
24, yeah.
Because you'd be bowling all week. You'd need 24 lanes.
I could see if a new Stillorgans get built and it's big enough, you could see a World Cup there.
Yeah, they'll only put 20.
Do you think?
They won't. They don't want more than that because
it's
just overheads and
it's hard with 22, 24, 26 these days.
The
they don't get built that big.
People don't realise, but the money you spend quarterly on parts for machines is just, you can buy a Ferrari. You know, it's just ridiculous.
That's why they're all going string machines now.
But the game is changing, and if I'm at the age where I'm never going to be pro, I'm never going to make it in the States, if I win the Lotto tomorrow, great, I'll have a go at the PBA 50, you know, I'll have 10 years to work on it, but no, my days are, then even coaching, there's more coaches than bowlers at this stage, and some of our coaches are old school, and they're like, you know, you don't want to be listening to him because he's an aggressive bowler, he throws it really fast and hard, and you don't really want to listen to him, and you don't want to listen to that, and then the kids they put their trust in certain coaches. Coaches just won't say, listen, I've taken you as far as I can, you need to go to this guy because this guy will take you to the next level, even if it's mentally. Or I would coach people more mentally than, I can obviously, I can talk to you about what bowling balls you have and layouts and lane play and your physical game, your timing. Are you late? Are you early timing? Are you, what's your posture? Your hips? Are you straight? I can talk to you about that. But
and this is all stuff we didn't do 20 years ago.
Yeah, you've
talking
got
about all that stuff.
Got to be able to get out and practice. Bowling's about feel, and you got to feel what's good for you. And I practically know when I let the ball go if it's strike. You practically know. And if you don't feel that, then some of the kids today are using bowling balls are 2 and 3 years old. Can't do that anymore. It's a hard reality that the bowling ball companies are putting too much pressure on bowlers because so many bowling balls are coming out, and it's like being in a sweet shop. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
You're having to keep up with all the equipment.
Back in the old days, you maybe got four releases a year, didn't you? And you're kind of getting 4 every other month.
Yeah, there's too much. Well, okay, you can't have a urethane to do you can have a urethane for 2 years. You know what I mean? If you're not bowling, you're bowling a lot. Okay, you might have a.
Do you play much with urethane?
No, not here. No, not here. If I'm going to a centre where they put a short pattern, then I'll have a urethane. I can play short patterns. I can play, all the recreational patterns. On the sport patterns, no, I'm not really good on sport patterns. We don't practice on them. We're not good enough to play in them. If there was a sport pattern out here now today, I'd be 190 average.
It'd probably kill the event.
I'd 190 average. I mean, I'm just not good enough. Just not good enough.
No, at least you admit it. Anthony Simon-Wilson watching now, and Ashley Gill, Mark Delaney, Amy Lebioda. We need an Irish national bowling centre, Barry.
We had an opportunity for an Irish national bowling centre. There was about 5 or 6 bowlers in the 90s who were fairly wealthy at the time, and and basically we had an opportunity, and we there was talk of it. And it didn't go ahead, but there was talk of a 12-lane centre just for Irish bowling, and didn't go ahead. So there was talk.
I think,
but there's not enough bowlers
in
to warrant that
UK and Ireland. It's a bit of a white elephant. Is a specific national training centre sort of thing.
We need it here, like between Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland.
You probably just need a Spector system somewhere so you can work on.
But there's no reason why a couple of people here within the British Isles can't organise something where bowlers go there for extensive training. And
there is a little bit now. There's Dunstable to a degree, and there's Shipley now. The 2 places that have got the Spector stuff.
Yeah, so it was talk of it, but no, there's not enough here now for there's not enough money. The money we get from our government just covers our administration.
Yeah.
It's a small bit of sponsorship. We still have to do a lot of fundraising.
It's the same for all the home nations now, having to spend money to get to championships and stuff.
Something that could have happened something that probably should have happened in the 90s, but no, unless somebody wins the lottery or somebody really wealthy builds a 12-lane centre, we've no chance.
Chris Sloan asking who's leading. We had scores after 3, and it looked like Paul Moore on 725. He had 246, 257, 222. Are we on game 5 now?
3, 4. Yes.
Yeah, game 5. So at the end of this game, I'll be going down the lanes to find out who's going to be making it. If there's any challenges on the leadership. 725 for Paul Moore. Matthias Reinertsen was 712 after 3. Karan Salama 700. Glenn Richardson had 673, and Nicole Sanders were on 668. But we've had another game almost another 2 games since then. So like I say, I'll be going down very shortly to look at the top 5 and see who we're going to get in for the interview at the end. If you just joined us, you're watching the 31st Irish Open live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall, and with me, as you will know already, is Barry Foley, the 2013 winner of this event, and still the only Irishman to have won the event. You die happy with that, though, don't you, Barry?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you know what I mean?
I love it. It's great. I hope it never. I really do.
No disrespect to any Irish people, but you don't really want another one to win it.
No, I mean, you know, I know we've had a couple of female winners in the ladies section, but to me, that's, you know, you've got to win the whole thing to
have won event.
To have won it. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's still a nice feeling to be the only Irish man. So I know Karina has won it twice, and Amanda's won a few times. So yeah, it's a nice feeling. Look, it may never last. You know, Chris is obviously, Alan Bride looks good. Chris,
it is another matter of time in a sense.
PBA at this stage, and he could, you know, Chris gets locked in. I mean, Chris probably should have won it a couple of years ago. He 580 for 2 in the semis, got to the final, and he just fortunately got up against Paul Moore. And when you're playing Paul Moore, Paul's a perfect example of just bowling against the lane and not bowling your opponent. I think some bowlers like to bowl their opponent instead of just focusing on the lane.
I've often thought that with Paul. There's the only person that can beat Paul is Paul, usually.
Exactly, and Paul. And, you know, I thought if Chris had won it that year, he would have been a worthy winner. You know, he was. But I was sitting there and I'm kind of going, well, okay, look, you got to take your hat off. But when he lost, yeah, okay, I was a little bit happy.
At least you admit it. Come on, at least you're honest about it.
Of course I am.
And I think anyone else would be the same.
Of course I am.
You want to be the only one that's ever done something.
Listen, I lost about 10 or 12 friends after I won it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nobody knows that, you know. I lost good friends after I won it. I fell out with some really close people, and I was kind of thinking, well, what happened and why? And somebody just said to me, Barry, it's because, you know,
it's done now. It's done.
Yeah.
Win it again anyway. You are Sloane Ranger in the final. That'd be a good one, an all-Irish final.
Oh, we'd love that. Oh,
that would be awesome.
Final. I'd love that. I'd love to.
I think Chris would. I think, you know, if you were going to beat anybody in the final, to beat you would be good. Yeah, Chris, nice.
Listen,
somebody's going to have to go past Simonson, though. To be fair, he's looked awesome with plastic this week.
I don't look. Mary, of course, you'd expect him to get in the final, but it's not always. You know, last year but last year we had some quality players, and you know there's no way should I have got to the final. You know, that's the way I look at it. I mean, if that had been is it Raman Hilfrink or even Daria, you know, she was here.
She was flying.
Rob Thurlby. Richie Teese was here. Like, if any of them got into the final, you'd be thinking, yeah, well, you know, of course. I mean, they're top players.
Yeah.
You know, I got there through. I was locked in that weekend. I'd bowling balls that just matched perfectly. The pattern looked the same for me all week. So it was just, you know, you were going to have to play well to beat me. Rob Thurlby could have easily beaten me in the first game. It was 257 each after one game. Rob had one bad shot, and I capitalised on it, and I got through. Then I played Tom Byrne, and what they do is they oil the lanes again, which make them a little bit slicker. So we got lanes 3 and 4, and lanes 3 is always 3 boards quicker than 4, and I matched up really quickly. I had 490, and Tom just wasn't at the races. And then, to be fair, then the Dutch guy, then I don't know his name. I spoke to him here today. He was about 12 pins up on me going into the second game, and I came back and won that by a small margin. So it was just, but it's look. There's bowlers there from Ireland that could very easily win. If I come in this, they come in it. They know who they are. You know, Alan Brides, Chris Sloane's. You know, there's even Stephen Joyce could have won it last year. Stephen Joyce is flying last year, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, I was with Stephen in 2005 in Moscow, and I could have. I mean, he was just unbelievable. He's just flawless. He was just. But last year, I was looking at Stephen going, I could be playing him in the final here. And I don't really want to play him in the final because I think he beat me. You know.
Yeah.
Look, at the worst thing is to have an All-Irish final and lose it. That's the worst fail. When you lose it, you'd prefer to lose it to a Yankee.
To a pro bowler.
Yeah. Of course. You know, listen, ask anybody.
Or somebody can turn around and go, well, he is actually a pro bowler. So.
And then, to be honest, the year I won it, I played Chris in the quarter-final, and Chris had me up until the 10th frame.
Yeah.
He had me till the 10th. He threw 7-10. I struck out to win. I remember it was 4-13 to 397. But I struck out on the 10th frame of the second game. And I'm telling you now, if Chris had won that, Chris would have went on to win the tournament. That's how close it was, you know. Look, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. It's nice to be still the only one. But look, let's be realistic. Would I like to be out there going around the world, playing tournaments and You know, I mean, you know, we've had bowlers in the World Cup final. We had Chris doing well in Lucky Larson's. He was in the top 5 of the Oklahoma PBA.
Yeah.
Come here, come on. You know, this is fun for me. This is a nice little bit of. This is the ice on the cake for me. Irish Open.
Chris will admit now that he's paid his dues over the last few years because he's like Richie Teese. You have to bed into that PBA and that
Takes
world
time.
thing, and it takes time. And when you do get it, then it clicks into place, and it's only a matter of time before Chris wins something really big.
Of course, I'll never be at that level. You know what he's doing now around the world. It's I would love to do that. I had a chance to do that.
Yeah.
I won the British Open in '98 under 24s, and I beat Stu Williams, Paul Moore to win that. I had a chance to go around the world and do what they did, and I didn't take it. I had kids. Aaron was only a baby, then we'd Sarah not long after. So that was me. I wanted to get home.
It's the same for a lot of players. I mean, there's some great players in England that would have amazing European and world careers, but
I mean, Leon
they stay domestic.
Who's the guy that was sponsored by Brunswick? He's not had about 100.
Oh, John Wells, John
Wells, unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Oh, we've got a lot of players that don't travel as much. You know, Rob Philby never used to travel that much. Won the the Brunswick Euro Challenge, yeah.
So look, as I said, this is the icing on the cake for me. This tournament, it's when I eventually pack it in, I can walk away and go, I did what I set out to do. And
would that come a lot quicker if you won it this year? Would you just say, right, won it twice, doom, that's enough?
Yeah,
or would you go for another one for 3?
No, I think if I won it again, that'd be it then.
You think?
I'm nearly done. Yeah, I'd say a couple of months I'll be pretty much done. I just want to do other things in life.
Yeah.
The game is changing. It's a lot of two-handers now, and it's fun. They're great to watch. But when you're down there bowling and you're on the lane, like I was on the lane with Jason Agay for 2 days, and it's like, we're looking at each other going, we're not doing ourselves any favours here, are we? Like we just didn't, like. And he's looking at me today going, we're on the lanes again. I don't believe it. He goes, I'm going to try and get a later squad. Like, we're just not doing ourselves any favours. Like, we're just tearing the oil up. Like.
Yeah.
And I reckon if Jason wasn't on the lanes with me today, I probably would have had another 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Because he whips the oil off it. Like
he does, yeah. You get too many players of the same type.
And then I've seen, was Anthony and Chris on the lanes together yesterday?
They were, yeah.
That probably, I saw Chris was deep.
Chris was struggling a little bit,
but Anthony was down. And they have to do that. They have to do it. They just can't be in the same area, can they?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, Ghislaine just pulled a 205 there. Nicole had a 206. They look like the pick of the players on that one. Not sure who we've got coming up for this last game. But I'm going to see if I can get somebody in with you, Barry, and then I can go up and down and get some scores. So we'll get a couple of people, you and somebody else bouncing off. Who have we got kicking around?
Don't get Selwyn, whatever you do.
Does that gobble noise annoy you a little bit now and again?
No, I'm only messing. No. He's a good lad, Selwyn. Joe, when I found out his age, I was like, huh?
I couldn't believe it as well. We were talking about that earlier. 55. You're like, what?
Selwyn's there's a lot of gentlemen in the game, and Selwyn's
he's a nice guy.
He's a gentleman, and he's very on Facebook. He's always complimenting people. He'll go out. There's so much on Facebook. If you wanted to compliment people, saying well done, congratulations, you'd be there all day doing it. But he does. He sends. You can just see Selwyn comment. He's a gentleman.
He's just a nice bloke,
and he is. Listen, I'm a noisy kid, and he does his turkey noise. And listen, come here. I can never fault anyone for being noisy. I'm noisy myself, but it's just.
I think it was new at first with the turkey noise, and he's admitted it himself. But after a while, people kind of becomes part of the background, doesn't it?
Yeah, and look, it's when you're bowling bad, it's easy to go, oh, that noise, but when you're bowling well,
that's just cost me that.
Of course, Selwyn is harmless. He's a gentleman. He loves the game, and if we didn't have Selwyns, we need people like we need people to enter our tournaments.
Yeah.
That probably won't always do well, but will enter and pay 200 or 300 euros.
Yeah.
How do you think we get the prize money? We need.
Yeah.
You
need people
turn around and
go.
you have to have a mix of everybody.
Gas Scotland. Sorry, when is the Desperado? It's going to be at 7:30. Welcome to Anthony Simonson, of course, Ashley Gill and Daniel Mohammed. Who have we got to come on and do some commentary? Who would you like to do it with, Barry?
Who's there? Lee Cocker's at the back there, look.
Lee, yeah, let's have Lee.
Oh, that's Lee there.
Have Lee to do it. Hang on. Right, then we've got Lee Cocker coming in with Barry.
Boom. Gets in, my son. Get in the hot seat.
You're in charge.
No, man, you're in charge. You're in the driver's seat.
You've got YouTube chat there, Facebook chat there, if you see anything.
Yeah.
I'll go get some scores.
Welcome, Lee Cocker.
Hello, Barry. All right.
All right, mates.
Do we know any scores, or are we waiting for
No,
Dom?
we don't. Yeah, Dom's going to go off and get some scores. We only have up to the first three, so it's the usual suspects of Nicole Sanders. He was 660. His writing's terrible. Paul Moore was 720 after three. But it's usual. It's the first three games. The usual bowlers are shooting a lot.
Yeah.
And it's the last three where people are struggling.
Yeah,
with
they
the
changed
transition.
I heard you a bit earlier, and you were saying they transitioned a lot more. They've transitioned a lot more this year, haven't they, than before?
How did you? What was your sort of?
Well, I can't really get the fresh. The first game. The first game's.
You were like par.
Yeah, every block I've had almost. I have had 600 exactly for the first three.
Are you using the same surface? Are you gone pearl? Are you gone hybrid?
I've been using everything really to try and find something, but I think I just got to go with a bit of a duller pearl. Come in a little further left, and I've been trying to stay right and keep the ball in front of me, but it jumps a bit, and it's just not been that consistent, really.
Yeah, no, because you and Rob just obviously got signed by Brunswick, and did you guys obviously get a new selection of balls to bring, or did you have time to practice with them, or
well, I've been bowling with them for a while. I got a score from Paul. Paul is 231 over for 5, so
that's
12.31 for 5 is a very good set.
Yeah, I'd say he's lead.
We could well be looking at the new, maybe the new overall leader if he has a good last game here.
No surprises there. I think the left looks a little bit more open this year.
Yeah, maybe a bit more friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were.
So I've been playing with Brunswick for about the last 6 months. Just playing with the stuff. I like the stuff, so I went on to move across to using pretty much all of their stuff.
Yeah.
Brunswick Deviate and Radical. Had a bit of success. Had a bit of time out with a wrist injury, which it seems okay now, just a bit painful. But
you had to pull out of Worlds, did you?
Yeah. I couldn't play the ECC. I didn't get selected for the Worlds, but I couldn't play the ECC.
What's it like when you've qualified for ECC and you can't go because you're
injured? It was even worse because I actually did go. I went and watched. Because I had everything booked.
So were you like? Were you itching at the back?
It was gutting. To be somewhere you should be bowling.
Yeah.
And not able to, so.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but to be able to be back and bowling is great, and
do you feel you're over that injury now, or you? I mean, you seem to be throwing it more smoother. And
it's still a niggle there, and it's still painful where I never used to have any pain. But yeah, it's good.
Have you changed your footwork?
A little bit.
I've seen that. Yeah. I noticed that yesterday.
A little bit, trying to be a bit slower on the approach. But then this week I've had to throw it really hard.
Yeah, I'm actually
to try and get the ball down lane.
As a coach, I'm actually against sort of slowing down, and I like to see people more speed, more tempo, get to the line quick. I was taught that as a coach, and I think it works. It works for it doesn't work for everybody, but being slow, I suppose, then would sort of affect your backswing maybe at times, or
it's more your timing, isn't it, that gets affected really with the speed of the approach. Gaz has asked, when is the Desperado? The Desperado's pretty much straight after this squad, Gaz.
Looking at about.
So it'll be. We've got another score. Glenn Richardson is 143 over so far. So top 2 of the squad.
He's doing well. Yeah, he had 11.
Yeah.
11:10, 11:50. So
11:43. So he should be realistically
top 8.
Barring a bad game here, Glenn's secured himself a spot.
Yeah. Where do you live? Are you going to have to? You're playing the final. with me.
Yeah, well, at the minute, I can take 5 past me. I'm 1 pin behind you. So
5,
yeah,
okay.
I can take 5, you can take 6,
we should
can't
be
you?
okay, yeah.
To be in the first round.
We should be all right.
So, yeah, looking at that, Glenn's 1 person there we know of for sure.
Yeah, Paul was already ahead of us.
Yeah, Paul was already ahead. Karen Salamar, I don't know what he had. He had a bit of a dodgy game there. I saw he was under 88 in the 6th. But I don't know what he finished with.
So the squad leader is Paul Moore, as we said, 243 over.
51 was he?
243, is it?
250 something.
And he's gone.
Yeah, struck again.
He's gone strike, spare, double. So
yeah.
I'd say
you should be able to just see him. Yeah, you can see him on 7 and 8 on the stream.
yeah. So it looks like he's probably going to be squad winner, and he'll be probably the new leader.
It looks almost certain to go in the top 4 with anything.
That's it. He'll have a nice little rest. He can chill out and have a beer and watch us bowling out.
Yeah.
Aidan Bourne, lane 7. Aidan does well. He's played a few events around Europe.
Yeah, he was in
He's
Finland
made some
last
puts,
week.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think we have played the. He's in America as well. He played a tournament in America.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did.
No, don't know.
I think he played something there in the States. I might be wrong, but I know he's in Finland. And
Yeah, he was in Finland last week. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It's a lovely bowl, Tarlu. Really nice place.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, I've never been now, so anyone who wants to go, like, what are the lanes like? I mean, how is it difficult?
Well, there was a lot of volume of oil, that's for sure. Real high volume. It was only 40 foot, I think, but it was really heavy. But the Brunswick oil seems to be quite thick as well on your ball. You know, you always see you get a lot of lane shine really quick on whenever you play on any of the Brunswick oils, which obviously affects your ball motion, ball reaction later in the block. So
is there loads of ways of qualifying then, like early squads or?
There is an early bird in that. There's the Desperado, and then obviously the straight qualification. But it's one of them events where you get a lot of people go to just for the prestige of going to the Bullmaster.
Yeah.
I think it was 573 players, not entries and written, it's actual individual players. 573. So you get.
I remember the Brunswick Open in 2010 and 11 had something like 435.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. There's so many bowlers in Finland.
Yeah, and they all support bowling as well, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to have a go because the tournament's in their country, their centre. So Paul there with a turkey.
That's it. Selman with his old turkey noise. This kid out on lane 9's actually. I think he's one with the future. He's
good
got a
player.
little bit of financial backing, and he's got every opportunity now to go around the world.
Finished 4th in the Dutch Open.
Yeah.
The year before last. The last time it happened, he was only 14 at the time. So he's.
I've seen him in Romania about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
So another question: what positions play in what group for final step 1? As I understand it, it's. Positions 9 to 27 play in Group 1, which plays at 8:15. Is it 8 o'clock?
8:45 or something.
And then positions 28 to 53, the early birds and the Desperados play at 11 o'clock. 4 games from scratch.
Yeah. So it's back to scratch. So it's.
And the top 28 from that 54 make it to tomorrow.
Then I think 5 to 8 come in then, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 to 8 come in, and 1 to 4 get a bye straight to match play tomorrow.
So it's good. They've done away with the 6 games, which is good. It's just 4 now tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's 4
used to be
again.
6. Yeah, they've done away with that, so it's 4.
Starts at 10, doesn't it?
Yeah,
which
so
is
we can. Yeah.
If you have a late finish, it's not so bad starting.
So I remember used to finishing at like
A couple
1:30 in the morning, and then coming back in at like 8:30, start at 9 or.
A couple of years ago,
I
I
was
don't think
late.
we finished till 3 o'clock or something. They had a lot of breakdowns, they had a roll-off, they had 2 or 3 roll-offs in one of the rounds, and someone not here, someone was in the pub and they should have been having a roll-off. All sorts happened. Who knows?
There was. Somebody made it and the pub didn't know.
Yeah. Someone's up. Mark Kerr, is that up there front 5?
Mark is over there. He always has the old shiny trousers on from Scotland.
Yeah, you can always see where he is.
Yeah. Good lad.
Can't quite see what Glenn's
this French guy in lane 8, never seen this guy before.
No, was he two-handed? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice kid.
He was hooking it a lot yesterday. I know
Yeah.
that. Glenn looks like he started with spare double. It'd be interesting to see if Dom can get us some more scores for the other people.
Yeah, he'd be.
More for our sake than anyone else. We want to know if we're bowling at 8 or 11.
Yeah. Sure, it's the Irish Open week. You know, you got to sacrifice everything for this weekend. So you're here to play, whether it's half 8, half 11.
Yeah.
Got to play. That's the good thing about this tournament. Paul Moore now on lane 8. Strike spare 3 in a row.
He's throwing it quite hard, isn't he? So just bouncing it off the friction, really. Not.
Yeah. Is he playing much around Europe, Paul?
He's not playing as much as he was. He's.
I think he's moving into the new home in next month.
New
And
home, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
heard today that there's a baby on the way.
Yeah, congratulations
That's
to Paul and
great, well
Charisse. Yeah.
And he has a pro shop as well, doesn't he? So he's
Yeah, he does a bit. I don't think he does a great deal in the shop,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yeah, that's all certainly keeping him busy.
he's had a decent, over the years, Weber Cup and
Yeah,
Masters. He's
3 or 4-time
Yeah, you know.
ABT champion of the tour.
and he's tried the PBA a bit, hasn't he? It just doesn't seem to
Yeah.
work for him over there, does it?
No, he made one show, I think. Cheetah, was it? A few years ago.
Yeah.
He made the show.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
bouncing a pin halfway down the lane. Too aggressive.
Of all the bowlers to do that, you'd never expect Paul. If Stuart Williams done that, you'd say,
Yeah.
well, fair enough. Stuart
Yeah.
throws the ball.
Oscar.
He throws that. Yeah, they throw it hard.
Can't see where Dom is to get us any more
No.
scores. He's managed to disappear. Mark Kerr still going with his string of strikes. Front 6 by the looks of it now, going up for 7.
A lot of new faces this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. They had a few cancellations as well, didn't they?
Had a
few
lot,
last minute,
actually.
didn't
Yeah,
they?
there's been Sam Rose cancelled, Keir Ray, couple of Croatians cancelled. I think Norway nearly come with like 45 bowlers. I think it was only 23 this year.
Oh, right, yeah.
Couple of Finns, a few Danes, Icelandics there. I think their group are getting bigger every year.
Yeah.
They go back to their own tournament now, I think, in 2 weeks. They have their tournament in. Have you ever played that one? They've always invited me
never
over.
been there, no.
I'd say it's a good one.
No, it looks good. Do you have you heard about any of your squads for European men's or anything yet, or when is that selected for the Irish?
I've no idea. No, I won't be going for I won't be going for the Europeans or bowling for Ireland this year. I think it's a roll off. I'm not sure if the top 2 in the rankings are automatic or I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't read any of it because, to be honest with you, I won't be participating. It's great when you're young and you get out there and you see what it's like, but when you get older, it's not exciting anymore for me. It's I've done it.
Yeah, you played the
You know,
events.
it's- And like when you go over, it's great to play it, and you give it everything for your jersey and you give it everything for your country. But you go over there, and I think 99% of the time, it's just the same players that are going to make finals and win medals. And the bowlers that are practicing, bowlers that are sponsored or traveling around the world, they're the bowlers that are going to be thereabouts.
Yeah.
It
definitely.
could be 10, 12 days away.
Yeah.
For me, I'd rather a couple of weeks in the sun now.
Mark had a spare there, so front 7 spare. Front 6, sorry, 7 spare.
Okay, your eyesight.
Nicole Sanders started well, but I don't know what she's had in the last 3 games. I can't see where Dom's gone.
Nicole was in she made the top 16 last year. She was made the quarterfinals. Paul Moore strikes again, so he's on about 240 pace at this stage, so that'll give him about
High full.
probably
Any other scores, Dom?
1490.
Any other scores?
Paul Moore or
How was Karen doing? Is he still up there? Yeah. So hopefully it looks all right for me and Barry as well to stay in the earlier final step 1.
Well, the best result today was Liverpool beating Palace 4-3, and the other weird result is Arsenal beating Chelsea 2-0. That's a shocker, isn't it?
Football's not my strong point, Barry, so we'll have to rely on you for that. But yeah, if you say so, if you say it's a shocker,
I have a lot of more Liverpool followers on Facebook. Nobody cares what I say about bowling. I got so many followers of Liverpool. It's great though. It's great. It's great banter. That's what it's all about. So who's your who do you think's going to win? Is there a player for you that stands out, you think?
Well, after obviously Paul putting in this sort of performance, you know, once he works the lanes out, generally, you know, he's going to be there or thereabouts, and being obviously left-handed as well, he's not going to have as much traffic in the finals.
I think there wouldn't 5 or 6 lefties though, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want Ghislaine or Nicole or giving him 8 pins. You know, that's you know, there's going to be.
Oh, Alan Bride obviously come straight out of the blocks, had 1460. You know,
Alan played Wednesday and had 1280. So
he has
by
played
the time
again.
Alan gets back on,
I didn't know if he'd played again or if he just played one shot. And,
no, I don't know whether he was messing around or trying different things.
Yeah.
Possibly was. But you can never rule Alan out. Alan, you know, these are Alan's lanes as well. Like he's in the leagues, it's always me and Alan, either high average or a pin behind. Or I was 235 average last season. Alan was 230 average. You know, it's
you still got a few guys to come in as well who haven't been around this weekend, haven't you? Like Owen, 300, didn't he?
Owen Lebiodi, lefty, he's
Con Cloak, I saw him earlier. He already played. He had 13, 20 odd, didn't he, earlier in the week?
Tell you, had a good look last week. Grant Duggan here on lane 9. Grant was about 150 after 3, 150 over after 3.
Well, he finished up about 1-0 something,
he was the same as me. We just went. He'd more than me for 3, but
pulled up again, pulled another strike. So
is Paul throwing your attain? Yeah.
I don't think he is. I'm not sure. We'll have a look when it comes out.
Let's have a look and see what it is.
He was throwing his IQ tour the other day.
It's,
I think that's the IQ 30.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I think. Yeah. IQ Tour 30. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
He's a fan of that. I know that for sure.
Holly Storen, give him a mention there. Irish. Phase 2. Who knows?
How did Tom Byrne get on earlier? I know I always see him around.
Tom was struggling a little now. I didn't know what score he had, but he said he was struggling. Said he struggled a little. So
you've got the side event with the seniors as well, haven't you?
He does, yeah.
Running alongside
Tom's done that a few times, so yeah, they've got that. So
Selwyn be up there in that, I would have thought as well. It looks pretty good for Selwyn to hang on to his spot in the finals.
Yeah.
Because when was the early birds from?
That was Sunday morning.
Squad.
Sunday morning.
What was it up until? No, sorry, the early birds.
The early birds up to.
When does that class up to?
I think it was Wednesday. I think the Irish. I think the top so many out of the cup on the Sunday make it so.
Yeah. Someone on the end pair's got quite a string of strikes. Oh, it's Marina.
Oh, Mariana.
Mariana.
Yes.
She's gone spare.
I coach Mariana. I've been coaching her about.
Spare open next 8, I think, or next 7.
Very good. That's good.
Yeah, quite a string going. Paul's at a 9 count there, so 68, 88, 208, 238, 238 if he spares and strikes out.
9 for Mariana, so she's.
I'm not sure what Thomas Keiko had 1470 something, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so. Last squad, so Paul's chasing that for the outright lead. Is there any leaders bonus or anything? Or
no,
nothing?
you go straight. Top 4 go straight to top 16.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a prize for winning qualifying or anything.
But you're like, when you get that, it's great. But then you're nervous because you've 2 games.
Yeah.
And like I played Rob Thurlby last year.
You don't play until.
So I'm saying the first
when
match
you don't
was
play
against
until
Rob.
1 o'clock or something.
Yeah, and Rob had already played that morning.
Yeah, everyone else.
So I'm
or
coming
most
in.
others.
Yeah, me and Rob are like 270s, 257 each.
Yeah.
The player you don't want in the top 16 is Rob Thurlby.
Yeah, depending who if anyone else is going to have 14, whatever, Rob
Yeah.
looks like he'll hold on to his top 8.
Yeah.
Paul's already... Was Paul ahead of him? No, he wasn't, was he?
Yeah. What did Rob have?
Rob had 14, 20 something.
Paul
I think.
had.
Yeah, Paul wasn't already though,
No,
was
he
he?
wasn't, no.
So Paul's jumped him, so
Yeah.
that's 1. So Rob could take 1 more in this squad
Yeah.
before he has to play tonight. I think Rob will be safe for tomorrow.
Isn't Ghislaine Allen ahead of Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jamie
And
Elliott's 14:40.
Thomas
so,
Keiko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Rob will play tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Ever try throw it two-handed?
Never. Not even once. You?
No. The spine wouldn't let me.
I don't think my wrist would because I can't cup anymore. Can't cup the can't
get
cup
over
the
that
ball.
far.
So
Was there many two-handers in Finland?
there was. Yeah,
Lot,
yeah,
yeah.
there was quite a lot. Yeah.
Probably a lot we'd never seen before.
Yeah,
and
it was a real young kid as well, and he was all right. He was quite good.
yeah.
He can't have been much older than 12, 13, and you know, they're all out there having a go. Can't really see any other big games finishing off here, so I don't think anyone's going to make a massive jump in the last game to get anywhere.
No, looks a lot of tired bowlers out there. A lot
Yeah.
of bowlers played again today. I don't know how they do it. I mean, 6 games, I'm exhausted. Some of them are playing again.
Yeah, I played 1 go today, and
It's enough. It's enough. Couldn't do it. I played 4 times this week. Like
yeah, I played.
I'd never do it in
3.
any other tournaments. Just
Well, it's your home event, isn't it?
yeah,
know,
you have
you've
to
got-
play it. You've got to play it.
When it's your home event, you really want to be there in the finals. And being the only Irish winner as well, you know, so yeah. It's a big boost for you.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, it won't last long. I'm sure this year could be an Irish winner.
Is there many young Irish bowlers coming out at the minute of
No.
anywhere,
There
or
might be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
There's a two-handed kid in Alsa. You just don't know when they get to 18, 19 if they're going to stick at it.
Paul in the
Not
10th?
many.
Strike again for
yeah.
Paul, yeah.
There's just not many that want to go on and pursue it. It's the ones that want to pursue it are the ones that will get better and better.
Yeah.
And they'll show up in top 16s and make semis and finals. And it's the ones that just play the leagues and tournaments and
I've never managed to get over to the Elsa Open.
no.
Oh, is it? So he can't lead then? He can't lead then? That won't put him in the lead.
Was he not 240 over already? So that's another 40. So that's 1480, 1490. He's 1490 off the sheet. So he's overall leader.
We'll do the maths for you, Dom, don't worry.
Yeah. Ignore Dom. Dom can't count.
Is it?
What's he at the moment? How many over? 231 plus 38. So
14,
260. Who's the who's the out and out
Thomas
leader?
Keiko.
Thomas Keiko.
Yeah, so a strike for second for Paul. Right, at about 5 counts, so I think you can pretty much safely say Paul's second. Most of the lanes look like they're finishing now. Only 1 pair's a few frames behind, so we shouldn't be too long before we get some confirmation of some scores.
Nicole Sanders fist pump there, so she must be looking to be her last score. So she's
Yeah.
probably up around the high 13s.
I don't know if she had a number already or
Yeah,
not.
I think
I'm not sure what she had. Can we get the scores?
1469,
Dom must
yeah.
have the scores up here somewhere.
1469. Paul Moore is second. I think Alan Broyd then would be third. Jamie Elliott is fourth.
Jamie Elliott, 4th, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what Ghislaine did, and so where are we now? Who's gone ahead of us? Do you know? We should be
Nicole's
okay.
not already ahead of us.
Yeah, far hard for that 14-16 today.
So did I. 13, 15. 1 pin worse
You
than
have
you.
14-15.
1 pin less.
Love it.
Grant, Grant Duggan was just behind us. I'm not sure what Grant's had there, if he's improved.
We'll ask him there and see.
Where's he gone?
When he played, like, there's a lot of these Joe I know played earlier on, but it's all.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Nicole Sanders wasn't in, I don't think.
Is that the full list? Is that every bowler?
No, these are qualifiers.
Apparently the numbers are down this year, but
Yeah. And Nicole's finished with 227, so
what was Nicole? Was she ahead of us?
she wasn't in. No.
No,
She
okay.
wasn't in before.
She fist pumped there. She's probably in now.
Grant's over there. If you give
Granty,
him a-
yeah.
See what he's.
We'll have to interview you have to interview the squad winner.
Gav Greaves 87 over.
We're all right.
So that
Be
puts
okay.
him. That puts Gav just about in, depending on how far the cut goes down. Gav will be right on the number, I think. Any idea what Nicole had?
Right, so I think Paul has won the squad. So
Just trying to find out what Nicole had. I don't know
Yeah.
what Nicole had.
That's
Nicole
fine.
looked like she had a bit, but I don't know what. She's over here. Selwyn should be. Well, I say I'm not sure what the early birds class has.
Yeah.
But if you look up here,
1X is the senior squad.
yeah. So Nikki O'Malley, if he drops out, then that'll push Selwyn out, which is a shame for Selwyn.
All right, so we'll have the final list probably in the next.
14-18 for Nicole.
Oh, she's
Wow,
14-18.
that's a big score for
That
Nicole
was it.
there.
That's why she fist pumped.
That puts her.
Don't think Grant had anything too
Well, that puts
extravagant.
Nicole tied with Bernice Lim.
Well, who's
14,
highest
18.
last game?
Nicole only had 220, so
Needs
Bernice.
to take that, yeah.
So that'll put Timu Pitsku into the round today, round 1. That's one past us, Barry.
Yeah, that's okay. We should be all right. We'll be on first.
I'm nervous.
No. Got to play, mate. You got to play 4 games regardless.
Yeah, but I don't want to play at 11.
Ah.
Dom's just setting
Yep.
up for Paul. So interview, squad winner.
Yes.
Bit of clapping. Glenn Richardson finished with 248.
He's well in there.
So that puts him on what?
He shot millions.
134 over before that. So that puts him on 180 odd
Yeah.
over.
That's 2 ahead of us.
That's 2.
All right. How are you? It was like 7-10. He threw the ball, turned around, done a Belmo, you know, walked back, you know, a sure strike.
Yeah.
7-10.
Oh.
No.
We're going to get an action replay.
Yeah. Got on his phone.
We're getting an action replay now of
watch.
Sydney.
Watch. You want to see?
Oh.
I was like that.
We're
Okay,
done.
Yeah, you do, Rog. Okay.
Luckily, thank you.
Thanks
See
very
you
much.
later.
Well on, Rog.
Paul, well
Get
done.
that here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot to Lee Cocker and to Barry Foley for doing the commentary in that last game, and for Barry to stay with me during the block there. Thank you. So we're just going to get Paul Moore up now for an interview. Lee, thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Barry. All right, so we're just waiting on Paul Moore. Be with us in a couple of minutes, so and that's it for qualifying then. Just waiting on Paul turning up now for his interview, and then we're on to, I think the Desperado is going to be on pretty quick. So we'll leave the stream going. We're not going to knock the stream off. Just bear with us in a minute while we get Paul up. He's on his way. So I hope you've enjoyed qualifying. Well, that's it now. It's all in the history books. And we're going to be on to the Desperado next, and then the final step one in 2 parts. But the hot news was Paul Moore just bowled a big set there to break into the top 4. 1468 did he just have then? So just awaiting Paul. Where have you gone? So we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. Players going back down onto the lanes for the Desperado very shortly. The 1-game shootout. We're going to keep the stream going. So there might not be any commentary for a bit, but we will keep the stream going so we don't have to open up another one. Paul Moore 1468 and Nicole Sanders 1418. I don't know about the lower cut. We were looking at the top end, so until they do the scores, I'm not really sure. Shouldn't be too long. Right, we've got Paul coming down now. Bear with us, he's just chatting to his wife at the back there. But stick around, we've got the Desperado starting very soon. And then 8:45, the first block of the final step one. Here he comes. Have a seat, Paul. Welcome. Not the first time we've had you in here, Paul, but
well, it's been a while, but
just take it a little bit closer. There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
Cool.
1468.
8 was it or 9? I can't remember.
One or the other. Enough for second, wasn't it?
Yeah. Either I miscalculated or.
Yeah. No, I think I did on calc. I think it was 68, but you could be right. You're a human calculator yourself. You're happy with that, obviously.
Yeah. Bowled pretty well today. Just a little blip in the end of the third game. Could have had I was pacing 280, and then just started throwing it bad. I don't know why. Split and then just marked out for 222. So that gave me a bit of work to do for the last 3, but the aim was to make the 8 and possibly the 4, which is what I did in the end. So yeah, can't complain.
Delighted with that. Then did you change much across the house?
I found yesterday when I bowled that the low end up to about lane 8, I think, was playing a little bit drier. It was just ball was just checking up a little bit sooner, and the higher 9 to 18 just a bit tighter. Just didn't really hook in the just didn't hook in the front as much. So it was just a case of just moving a little bit, squaring my angles a bit on the high end and playing a bit straighter.
What did you start with ball wise, and did you keep the same one or did you change?
Yeah, started with the IQ 30 and I never changed. That was the only ball I used. It looked.
Which ball was it?
IQ 30.
IQ 30.
Yeah. So it's the Pearl IQ Pearl.
Yeah.
Pearl IQ Tour. Sorry.
Yeah.
So never changed. I've fished around with other balls in practice, but that given me the best luck. It's not overreading the back end, and it's reading the fronts early enough, but it's not doing too much. It's one of the mildest balls in my bag, so it seems like they're the balls for me. They're working pretty well.
Yeah.
Just trying to take something off the ball as well. So.
You don't seem to be playing as much now. You're full-time job again?
Yeah, full-time job. Started working in April. I've had a few jobs and getting settled down now with working for Pat Byrne at his company in Leicester, Thermal Exchange. So he's
you're going to pick and choose the events you play.
Yeah,
now.
well, I was always going to do that anyway. I'm never going to stop bowling. It's difficult now to go to the States with having to pay mortgage and with a
of course,
little one on the way.
Little one on the way. Congratulations! You announced it last week or something, or
we had the scan yesterday before we flew. So we had the scan in the morning, and then we did the announcement on Facebook in the afternoon before we flew.
It's where all announcements get made these days, isn't it?
Well, that's social media for you. So.
Congratulations, though, Paul. You'll make a good dad.
I hope so. Yeah.
For sure. The kid will have a good moral compass.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll make sure of that. Yeah.
Have you any preference? I mean, everyone wants a healthy kid, but have you got a preference,
Not really.
boy or a girl?
No, we don't want to know until the birth, so we've decided that we're good.
So you can end up with a load of yellow and green things as opposed to pink or blue?
Well, we've already got plans for the nursery in terms of style and what sort of colours, so we'll try and go for neutral colours, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do. We're moving house as well soon, so there's a lot of things happening this year. So
excellent.
A lot of things going on in life.
Yeah, good bit of happiness though when you get a kid on the way and stuff, and it's about the right time. You've been married a couple of years now, almost. But married a couple of years now.
It's coming up to 2 years now. We had the first anniversary. May the 6th. Last year, so second anniversary this year. So
have you got anything lined up for the rest of the year, tournament-wise?
I
mean, obviously coming round July, you're not going to be going anywhere, are you?
No. And there's a big swing in July as well, but
that's done now, isn't it?
That's where you got to do. So I'm not going to leave Charisse alone when she's a few weeks.
Yeah, when she starts getting bigger, and you're going to have to look after her a bit more.
I can't do that. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be forgiven for that. So, but yeah, I'm bowling the Euro Challenge. The SBT events, just try and keep bowling. I'm never going to stop bowling.
You're going to be more domestic for a couple of years now, probably.
Well, bowling a few domestic events, the SBTs, but I'm still going to bowl European events like this, and it's good working for Pat. He's a bit more lenient with, he's more understanding with what I've done for the last over 10 years.
Yeah.
I bowled full time, so it's a big change for me to suddenly go back into a job and try and get some experience and qualifications behind. It's, you know, I mean, I've got experience from bowling, and you know, you gain experiences that you don't really know about until you actually go back into a job. So,
but you did have a job before you started the bowling, didn't you?
did,
You worked for the fire service, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was IT office work. So mainly I've been office work. So I'm doing admin work now. So it's
and are you enjoying the work?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got me back, and you know, I'm enjoying just getting out of the house as well. You know, rather than just being when I'm not bowling. Before I was just sat in the house doing nothing. Just
there is that when you weren't anywhere sort of thing, and
And there was more times recently where, because of finances, I couldn't afford to go bowl a lot of the events in the States. It just wasn't financially viable for me.
Yeah.
Even though there's big prize money out there, it's a big risk, and some people are prepared to take the risk, some people aren't, and I'm, you know.
Paul, you've got an amazing career over the years.
Yeah.
You know, you could have retired tomorrow and still be one of the in the top 10 of all time, and top 5 of all time.
I can look back and be, you know, I'm satisfied with what I've done over the years. So.
But you still feel like you've got more in the tank.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's difficult. I've never been a high rev guy, and the game nowadays is going. There's a lot of high rev guys, especially with the two-handed style coming through now more in the last few years. So it's difficult to compete sometimes with these guys. You know, the younger kids coming through, and I'm looking at the fields nowadays, and I make a final, I'm like the oldest there.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a big shock when you see, but it happens in every sport. You know, you get younger kids coming through, styles change, game evolves. You know, as much as a lot of people maybe don't like the two-handed style, it's here. You know, and that's an evolution of the game. And it's not how you throw it; it's how many pins you knock down. You look at Jacob Butterworth in the US. You know, he's been on fire recently, but people still on Facebook are, you know, just because he looks a bit unconventional style, people don't like it. But if you actually looked at his style and paused it at the bottom of the swing, his position is brilliant. You know, his position bottom of the swing is the best.
I think we're going to have to end this interview, Paul, because we're getting drowned out by music.
Yeah.
But we'll catch you again when you win it.
Okay.
4th time winner, probably. Won it 3 already, so another
Fingers
one.
crossed, yeah.
Congratulations,
Right.
Paul. Well
Cheers,
done.
Tom. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Sorry about that, folks. They always put the music on before we finish. It's loud as well. Right, we're just going to knock off the audio down here, and we'll be back for the Desperado very shortly. Don't go away.